since we're talking about fashion, I've got to say that thanks to shows like Project Runway, a lot of people out there have been inspired to start up their own fashion label. And thanks to the internet, it's extremely easy to open an online boutique. But before you jump on the bandwagon and do that yourself, you might want to pay attention in this next interview, because we'll be discussing the business side to the industry. Now that's why I'll be joined by 4 beautiful young entrepreneurs who came all the way from East Malaysia here to share their success stories and maybe some of their secrets. Now please join me in welcoming Sereni and Shentel, who created a huge name in headbands and fashion accessories, and Esmelia and ST Saruji from Privé, who have their own online fashion business, and of course they've got a boutique. It sells everything from Australia. Anyway, welcome ladies to the show. It's really great having you guys here. Now, we'll be talking a little bit about, you know, the business side to fashion. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about your own ventures, you know, how you guys get started, and a little bit about your brands. So I'll talk to Sereni and Shentel first. Now, Sereni and Shentel, yes, I can tell where you guys got the name of your business.
Yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about it and how did you guys start?
Well, we make headbands. This is you're all wearing the headbands. Yeah. We started in 2009. It was an accidental business. So what happened was we made headbands to go to a Lady Gaga concert.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Lady Gaga concert.
Yeah, it all started out from Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
So we started out with making this headband actually, which is called the Kuching Cat now.
Oh right.
We made it in black, and what happened was the media went crazy when they saw us in the headbands, and we had bejeweled shirts as well that said Gaga. Yeah, so we made it into newspapers and everything, and then a few months later, I was asked by Asia Tatler to join in the shoot in Hong Kong, so we made some pieces for that shoot as well.
For real. We thought, well, let's give it, since we've made a few, let's make a few more pieces, see what we can do, where we might go. And from there, we decided to start a little online store. We used a website called Big Cartel and put a few products on there, and then it just sort of stemmed from there.
Wow! And since then, there's no turning back. Of course, you've got really fantastic designs. The two of you are wearing,
I'm wearing the Kuching Cat side option.
Zamunda. I am wearing.
You're wearing the Queen.
Oh,
yeah, it's a crown.
Indeed. No, that's Sereni and Shentel. A little bit about Privé now. Of course, the two of you are sisters, and you decided to, you know, start a business. Of course, it's not easy, I'm sure, working with family. Okay, now tell us a little bit about Privé.
Okay, it all began from a natural love for fashion and dressing up.
It always starts with that.
Yeah. We wanted to test the market and see how the response would be. So we set up Privé late January this year. We aim to bring together a collection of multi-brand items from Australia, from women's clothing to accessories, catering to a niche market. Me and ST select unique and desirable pieces, and at the same time, it was our personal goal to make fashion accessible and affordable to all women. Talking about Privé, we have Aussie brands in Privé, which includes from formal casual to evening wear. We have a mix of brands from Australia, which includes Review, Witchery, Kukai, Supre, Manning and Cartel, and many more exciting brands to come in the near future. And as for the body line, for Lux Street and give ideas, we have scented candles, body wash, soaps, and
Okay.
And as for the accessories, we are having twinkle items, which is available in store as well.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's handmade.
It's handmade, yes.
Yeah.
That's really fantastic. Now, of course, back to your clothing line. You said you mentioned you got all Aussie brands. Is there a reason why you chose brands from Australia?
I've always loved Aussie brands, and because my siblings used to study in Australia, I came to develop this certain affection for those brands, as they are very stylish and of good quality.
Yes, and affordable too.
Yeah, and affordable too.
In Australia, you know, Sportsgirl, Portsmouth, favorites of mine.
So it's just all about with the current fashion trend.
So it's about bringing it back here, and you know, giving it to Malaysians.
Yes.
All right. Now, was it also, you kind of mentioned it just then? You want to bring this to Kuchingites, ladies who love fashion in Kuching. Is that the case? And maybe you from Kuching also, right?
We are, yes.
So maybe do you see that, you know, there are a lot of ladies who loved fashion in Kuching but just didn't have, you know, that many shops or to go
that's how we started making our headbands, is we couldn't find them in Kuching, and to fly out to KL to get it all was just, it just seemed a little bit too much. So definitely, I think there's definitely a market in Kuching of girls who especially are very work savvy and they don't have time to, you know, go down to the shops and things. For us especially, we do have a lot of online orders from Kuching, even though we do have stockists. They do want to order online and get the excitement of getting something in the mail.
Of course,
Yeah.
nothing beats that. Now, talking a little bit about online now, of course, thanks to the internet and blog spots out there, there are tons of online boutiques now. They're mushrooming everywhere. So, you know, of course, I'm sure it goes beyond just being, you know, fashion savvy and having a website. And some people, Blogspot is absolutely free. Now, you know, what can you do to actually make sure that your business is successful? You know, how do you develop the brand and of course, most importantly, when you start off a business plan. Did you girls have that when you started off? Maybe you could share.
Yeah, well, initially it started off as a hobby, and Shentel and I still keep our day jobs, so you know, we still, Shentel's a graphic designer and I'm in property development, so we still keep our day jobs. And it started off with just us making the headbands, but now the business has expanded, so now we have a staff of over 10 people. But what's important to us is everything's made in Borneo, so everything stays in Kuching. So now we've sort of expanded with the business itself.
Do you guys had the plan from the start to want to actually be online?
Yes, we've always had that strategy to be online.
Yes. I think because we were based in Kuching, we experienced personally shopping for Tedar products from overseas, from Australia, from the US, from the UK, and we thought, wait, what about local brands? Like, we should definitely have a go at doing that.
Yes.
But I think for online, for us, why we've been successful, I think, is we are ourselves, and that's what people are buying into as well. It's like following what we're doing, and we wear the product, you know, we design for ourselves.
You are your own, you know.
We are our own brand. We are the brand.
Yeah. And, you know, we share with our fans. We're very accessible. We're always on our Facebook. They can contact us. We write back straight away. So that's sort of, you know.
So that's the secret, you know, must, you know, be IT savvy and have that strong presence online.
Social networking has been really important for us. We're on Twitter and Facebook all the time.
And just to be true to the brand, like, you know, if you want to start out, I think, you know your brand. We know our brand because it's us. You know, so, and we've got nothing to hide in that sense. So in terms of branding, it's really just the two of us and, you know, what we're into. We share with our fans, like, you know, what music we like,
everything really.
Places that we like to eat.
What
it's
we
just
were
more
inspired by.
as well.
Okay, so there you go. That's a very, I think, a foolproof plan you've got there, you know, to be the face and the image of your own brand. It's really fantastic. A little bit about Privé now. When you girls started, did you have a business plan or a certain, you know, steps that you knew that you had to take?
Yeah. Basically, first and foremost, before we started the business, both of us, what we did was we did some studies and observations on the local retail scene in Kuching. And from there, we determined where we wanted to place ourselves in the market.
Okay.
So basically, the business plan for Privé is essentially to provide the fashion-savvy women and fashion-conscious women in Kuching with the access to affordable branded clothes and accessories. Yeah, so from there, then we had to identify the needs of our target market and what are those needs that we wanted to fill.
What are the price ranges are, the disposable income of
Wow. Okay, so actually two very different approaches there. You took more of the business side to it and the research side to it, and you guys were more about the passion and the flair and the love and that sort of, you know, it was contagious, you know, it actually went through to your buyers. So you obviously know who are your target audience, you know, that's I believe that's actually one of the most important things. Now, if you guys girls could, you know, just offer some maybe some advice to a lot of hopeful business owners out there on how to run a successful brand online. Serena, Shentel?
I think definitely, you know, invest a little bit of money in, you know, having a proper, first of all, email address, I think is so important, having a proper domain name, and investing a little bit of money in maybe learning a little bit about graphic design work so you can control your brand, because I think, you know, we benefit from that. The two of us are working behind doing all the branding ourselves. Definitely, you know, looking into your website management and having a proper back end, that's something that you would have to invest in. And looking into like payment methods like PayPal and local banking payment methods here. And, you know, the best thing you can do is just go on to and look at websites that you love and shop with them and see how the process is and learn from that, I think, is something very important.
All right, so there you go. You know, invest a little bit into your website, your back end. I mean, you know, great things like blogs and stuff like that, and direct debit into banks can be a little bit messy, you know, and of course it's not really good if you've got overseas banks.
Exactly, you want to look professional. I think, you know, if you are going to have an online shop, it's like having a physical shop, but it's online, so you need to make it look as attractive as possible to your customers and make it as user-friendly as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. There you go. I'm writing down notes myself. Okay, and Smina and ST, you guys, do you guys have backgrounds in business? Have you ever run business before? I mean, you seem like...
we don't, but then we come from a family where our dad is a businessman.
Uncles and aunties.
So you guys were surrounded by
Yes, it's always been business around the family. Yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give to our viewers?
I think for a fashion business, it's a very hyper competitive market.
Extremely, yeah. How to stay ahead?
It's very complex as well. So I think two key drivers for success is basically to brush up on your entrepreneurial skills and also your commitment to running the business, because it takes a lot of you basically need to eat, sleep, and breathe.
So true.
Business, right?
That's very true. It's the same for us.
And I also believe that if you have started with a solid foundation, and if you could incorporate all the marketing tools into a proper business plan, you'll be able to succeed.
Wow.
That's just the sweet part of it.
So it's not all about the glitz and glamour. There's a lot of, you know, sweat and blood and tears involved too. So you've got to be willing to sweat it out. And we thank you very much, ladies. That's been really fantastic. There you go, Sereni and Lingi and Privé, two fashion brands. Of course, we've got the websites. Sereni and Lingi, Sereni and Shentel. Sereni and Shentel.
It's fine.
Sereni and Shentel.com. So fantastic headbands. I absolutely love that one. And also Privé, a great slew of Australian brands such as clothes. I'm wearing.
You're wearing one.
There you go. I'm wearing two. This is Sereni. Household, not household, but more a luxury skincare line, and also really awesome visual stuff from Twinkle Twinkle.
This is a separate agreement, like a consignment.
Consignment basis, yeah. Okay, this is privé.com.my. So there you go, ladies. Do keep in mind all the great advice given by our four fashionista/business owners here. The commitment is very, very important. Anyway, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this interview. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break here on the Breakfast Show. Coming up, Naz is going to be joining me back here, and we will be talking about your child's immunity. How well do you know your child's immunity, and what can you do to boost it from within? We'll be talking to an expert right after this, so don't go anywhere.